of Buck Naked, unless it's underwear. There's a company called Buck Naked Underwear, but that's a whole nother story. So anyhow, beer o'clock. No, no, seltzer, brother, drinking seltzer. Hey, Andy, what's going on, man? Glad to hear the grandkids come. Yeah, my granddaughter's coming over. My granddaughter. So got a my voice. I got a great relationship with my youngest son. So we see him and my granddaughter and stuff quite a bit. Um, my oldest son, not so much. All right, I'm going to sit you down there for a second while I see where we're at with the milk here. 83 degrees. I'm going to give that a stir. We're going for 90s, what we're trying to achieve. 90 degrees. Heating some milk up to 90 degrees. No, I'm not trying to feed a baby. That would be about the only other reason I can think of to heat milk up. Put it in a bottle for the baby. Give it a stir now to see what it reads. 88, yeah, we're almost there. 88.7. So that's only going to be another minute or so. So I'm going to stay right over here in the neighborhood while we finish it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the milk. We're heating the milk up to 90 degrees. And we're going to add to it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add this right now. Hold on one second. I had to set the acid to it. There we go. Got the citric acid in there. We're going to heat it up to 90 degrees, and then we're going to add the rennet to it. Although, trying to get this rennet to dissolve better. Maybe I should, I'm going to try adding some really hot water. Let's get that warmed up, see if that can't help dissolve that rennet. Because my rennet is not dissolving. You could use liquid rennet. I used a rennet tablet. It takes a quarter of a rennet tablet. And that's just what I've used in the past. It stores well. You don't have to refrigerate it. So, not that that was ever a problem up in Alaska, but. All right, well, let's see, that water hot. Warmish. Warmish. Add a little warm water, see if we can get that rennet dissolved better. So what we're doing is we're trying to make some mozzarella cheese because it's pizza night tomorrow night. We're going to make some pizza dough in the morning. I'll put together some dough, or Johanna and I'll put together some dough. And I'm making some, I'm making actually 2 more batches of mozzarella. I'm going to do this one with you guys, and I'm going to do the rest of them with my daughter-in-law so she can kind of learn how to do that. Taking the opportunity to teach the fam some of these old school, used to be everybody knew how to make cheese. Now nobody, unless it comes in little plastic wrappers, nobody seems to know how to deal with it. So going back old school. So we're going to get this up to 90 degrees. We're going to add the rennet to it. We're going to give it a good stir. Well, not a real good stir once we add the rennet. And then we're going to put it off to the side of the pot for 10 minutes. And while it's going for 10 minutes, we're going to take the opportunity to go take a quick look at the ducks in the garden. So I got a question for you, for my buds out there. A lot of you guys watching right now are my old-time fans. You've been watching me for a long time. In fact, while I was on the boat and while we were traveling, oh, yeah, we're there. We're there. We are there. Let me take that off the heat. Turn that off. And I got to go add the rennet now. What do you think? Is that sufficiently dissolved? I don't know. Let me give it another quick stir. Yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get. So we'll pour the rennet in. We already got the citric acid in there. We're going to give it a gentle stir, just sort of an up and down motion. Look at that. You can already see the curd. Can you see that? Already see the curd separating from the milk. Okay, that's all we want to do. Now we're going to cover that up. We're going to give that some time. We're going to just let that chill. That's just going to chill there in the dish. While it's doing that, let's take a moment and go outside. First of all, everybody wants to know where the dog is. Where's the dog? Say hello, dog. Wolf. Want to go out? You want to go out? Come on, you want to go out? Come on, you want to go out? You don't want to go out. Okay, hold on. Sometimes she's just all excited about doing stuff. Sometimes she's not. Just depends on what she's doing, right? Anyhow. Hello, little dogs. Oh. Hey, Doug. How you doing? Here we are out here in the garden. And man, is it thick. Got cucumbers coming up like crazy. You can see little pretty little yellow flowers and stuff there coming in. It is going to grow right over top of my shed. I got squashes coming up. You can you can see some of the squashes coming up in here. Got a bunch of them coming up. There's potatoes in that mess, and there's watermelon. It's all overgrown. Got tomatoes out here coming up. My tumbling toms. I just did a big moving project with them. Carrots, more potatoes, squash, corn, another squash, some peas, another potato, tomatoes, more tomatoes there, strawberry. Oh, we got anything right? Oh yeah, brother, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Come on. Here we go. Look at that little beauty, huh? The rewards of gardening, man. It's just awesome. It really is. Let me show you my tomatoes here. I built this today. I built these sawhorses up really high. The legs are 4 feet long. And the reason being is because these tomatoes are hanging way down. Look at all that. Look at all that coming on. They're hanging way down. I had to move them up really high so they had room to grow. Plus I got to water the crap out of them. But anyhow, they're coming along really well. That's my granddaughter's potato. You can see how it's starting to die out. Even though we've been giving it a lot of water, it's starting to die out. That tells me it's going to have potatoes producing really soon. And I got a big old mama chicken tomato. Look at the size of that beauty coming on in there. That big son of a gun. I don't know how to harvest that one. To be honest with you, I'm not sure how I'm going to get that one out of there. It's like it's entwined, and I might as well do that right while I'm talking to you guys. It's like it's entwined in a plant. Let me show you. See that? It's kind of like, oh, I think I can just peel it out. Yeah, I can. Hold on. Oh, there we go. There we go. Look at that son of a gun, huh? Now, guys, I've got big hands. Look at the size of that beauty. Kind of, what do they call that? Cat-faced or what have you, but oh man, that's going to be good. That is a nice big tomato. Good eats in the neighborhood, man. Good eats. So, hello, dogs. All right, let me show you a few other things while I'm going up the steps here. That's our mint, our basil, which is actually going to flower, and a little herb garden. Got some oregano, some thyme, some parsley, and my bird feeder. I bought Johanna a bird feeder as a birthday gift for her. And let me tell you something, those birds are eating us out of house and home. They're absolutely eating us out of house and home. By the way, I've also been getting some of these really nice yellow tomatoes. Look at that beauty. We had a few of those today. In fact, I had one of those with my homemade mozzarella. Johanna doesn't want to be on camera, but you'll hear her exclamation when she sees this tomato. I'm not going to put you on camera, but what do you think of that, huh?
That is gorgeous.
Isn't that a big old tomato?
Nice.
What do you think he weighs?
2 pound tomato.
Just I'm gonna hit my scale here. Let's see what he weighs. Go to 0. 20 ounces. That's a 20-ounce tomato. 20.1 actually ounces.
I went too far off.
Yep, I'm gonna leave it sit here on the table. I don't have enough room in the window for that to finish ripening. It feels like it's just about right now. So, all right, how long has it been, guys? Have you been keeping time? Have we been long enough? I don't think so. That was a pretty big whirlwind tour. Nah, we're gonna give that some more time to set up. Gonna give that some more time to set up. We're separating the curds from the whey. Remember that? You guys remember that from what was that? What was that thing that they talked about curds and whey? Wasn't it like a childhood rhyme or something about curds and whey?
Little Miss Muffet.
Little Miss Muffet. That was right. Yes. Thank you, Jan. Little Miss Muffet. Anyhow, we are separating our curds from our whey. That's what's going on in the pot right now. While it's doing that, let me jump back in and see what's going on in the chat. Any duck eggs? No. I didn't show you guys the ducks. Darn. We'll go back out in a minute. No duck eggs yet. They're too young. Probably won't see a duck egg till late September, early October is what I'm thinking of. So, which is good because it gives me time to build a quack shack so they have nesting area and all that to get into. So, but I'm working on that. Alexander says I was watching when you were in the cabin, and still watching, brother. Thank you for that. Hey, Sonia, how you doing? Mental health and homesteading. Boy, don't those two go well together. Oh, man. Yeah, anybody that homesteads needs mental health? I'm going to sit you guys back there so I can get a better view on you. Anyhow, yep, okay. Loma Acres cheese. There you go. Attack of the Killer Tomato. Man, that thing's huge. 20 ounces. Where did I put it? Right here. 20-ounce tomato. That's just awesome. Oh, and it feels so good. I mean, you can just, it feels firm, but yet it gives just a little bit. I bet you that's going to be a juicy, juicy tomato. Hey, that one tomato is big enough. Janet can put up a pot of sauce just from one tomato. See if she does that. Will you do that, Jana?
Probably.
Probably? Okay.
A little.
Maybe? All right. So a couple of things. I started talking about this earlier. I got distracted. I get off track. Sorry, I do it all the time. A lot of you guys have been talking and following and visiting along with me. And we used to get together. When I was on the boat, we get together every night, 7 o'clock, whatever time it was, wherever you live. Usually around 7 o'clock for me. And we had our live stream, you know. And it was, we had to deal with the troll idiots. But for the most part, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I think a lot of you guys enjoyed it. Lately, I have been following some other, oh God, my hair's a disaster. Lately, I've been following some other YouTube channels, and they don't live stream, or they don't do a video every day. Some of them do a video every day. There's one guy I particularly like, Lumna Acres, L-U-M-N-A-H, Lumna Acres. I love the channel. Nice guy named Al, lives up in New Hampshire. Him and his wife and daughter, they got chickens, pigs, and goats. He's in the process of building a barn right now. Anyhow, I get bummed because on Sundays and Wednesdays Al doesn't do a video, and I get bummed on those days. I'm like, oh man, I want my Lumna Acres fix. And so it reminded me of how a lot of you guys are probably bummed and a little upset with me because I'm not doing a live stream every day anymore. You know, we don't have our group together. Everyone's not hanging out together every night. So my question to you guys are, and when I say you guys, I mean those of you guys that have been like Alexander and Andy and, you know, Johnny Haig and some of Dan Carter, some of these guys have been around for a long, long time. What do you think? Do we go back to doing live streams on a regular basis? I mean, if I'm just hanging out here in the kitchen having dinner with Johanna, are you guys interested in talking and hanging out with that? I can't promise you every night's exciting and we make cheese or soap or whatever we do, but I'm interested in your opinions on that. What do you guys think? Okay. While you're contemplating that, I got some other things I wanted to go over with you guys. I happened to watch a video on the telly, on the television, and it was Rural Heritage television show, Rural Heritage. And they went to Lehman's Hardware Store, which is here in Ohio, up in the Amish country of Ohio. And what was really cool about Lehman's, they've got, if you could turn the clock back 100 years ago, Layman, my voice. Layman's has everything you need to live 100 years ago. They have oil lanterns and they have, all the grain mills and coffee grinders and wood stoves and and all that kind of stuff. Farm equipment, hardware equipment, all that kind of stuff. Old timey stuff. Sauerkraut crocks and a lot of these things that people today, never have any use for. But anyway, so I was watching the show, and they were there at Layman's, and Joel Salatin was on. I don't know how many of you guys know who Joel Salatin is. He's a farmer. He's a farmer from Swope, Swope, Swope. I like that name, Swope, Virginia. And Joel is starting kind of a whole revolution in the whole farming industry. And anyhow, he's a bit of authority on homesteading, raising animals, how to make money raising animals, that kind of stuff. Anyhow, he posed the question, what is it that homesteaders contribute to our nation? What do we do? I mean, you read the Wall Street Journal and you read Forbes and Time, like any of these big magazines. And they talk about all the things going on in America, business-wise, economic, finance-wise, what have you. What?
Check the trees.
It's just setting. It's cooling.
Oh, okay.
It's chilling right now. It's off the heat. It won't hurt to give it a few more minutes.
Okay.
Anyhow, he asked, what do we contribute? If someone at homesteads, what do they contribute? And what he brought up was the stock market. He said, if the stock market were to disappear, so what? If the stock market disappeared, what would happen? It'd be economic devastation for a lot of people. People committing suicide, back in 1930s and all that. But you know what? When all that happened, the homesteaders, their day-to-day life was pretty much the same as it had always been. It really had little or no bearing on them whatsoever. They were still getting their eggs from their chickens, and they were still getting their milk from their cow, and they were still getting their vegetables from their garden, teaching their kids at home to read, write, and arithmetic and all that kind of fun stuff. Not a whole lot changed. So he was asking the question, well, what do homesteaders provide? And the answer he came back with was truth. What homesteaders provide is truth. As an example, as a homesteader, even though I'm only homesteading on Johanna's little piece of land here, I grew a tomato. I can slice this tomato and eat it. I can put a little mayonnaise on it and eat it. I can make pasta sauce with it. But this tomato has the same intrinsic value now, whether or not Wall Street is here or not. If Wall Street disappeared, in fact, if Wall Street disappeared, this would probably be worth more because it'd be harder for people to get tomatoes here locally. So what we bring is truth. We bring value. We bring that kind of that sense of value. Now, I know my troll idiots are going to have a field day with this because they don't believe anything I say anyway. But it's that honesty and integrity in that lifestyle. You take care of your cow and you milk your cow and you have milk. What do you make for milk? Well, you make your mozzarella cheese so you can make pizza, and you make your butter and you drink your milk and your ricotta and your cream cheese and your cottage cheese, and I mean all these things come as a product of milk. So having a cow and doing that, raising pigs for the meat, raising cows for the meat, raising chickens for the meat and for eggs, having ducks for eggs and for meat. There's a certain truth and honesty in that and a simplicity. And so he summed all that up, and it's all truth. It's all just, it's just factual. You have a chicken, you feed your chicken, you get an egg. It's just the way it works. Chickens do not go out on strike. They don't, stop laying for better wages. Chickens just lay eggs. So I thought it was an interesting perspective. I wanted to share that with you. Johnny's, wait a minute, I missed a bunch here. Let's see. Now I want a BLT. Homestead. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what I could do to help ease my throat, but it's just squeaky tonight.
Just take a spray.
Take a spray? Let me take a spray.
You don't do it.
I'm going to do some cocaine, man. I'm going to do some cocaine. Allergy sprays. The nurse practitioner came and told me that this is allergies. You know, I always thought you outgrew allergies. I didn't think you grew into allergies, but apparently you do. So, pardon me while I snort some cocaine for you guys. No white powder even to wipe away. I'm telling you, kids, that's what this reminds me of. It reminds me back in the 70s, you know? We used to hit a little coke back in our youth. I don't know, maybe you didn't, but I guess I had a better youth than you did. What can I tell you? Maybe I helped my voice. Homestead hair, don't care.
Be good.
He's beating me. Always look forward to the daily live stream. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. Short bus, no. Short bus is always negative, so we'll just ignore that. Curly Bill Joiner, Carrie Beth here. Okay. Hey, Curly Bill, how you doing? Them damn mosquitoes tearing you up, Carl. Yeah, they always do. Tomato sandwich. Tomato sandwich, yep. I work 5:30 to 2 p.m. My days off during the week vary. Saturday is the only day I can't count on viewing a live stream. You work 5:30 p.m. to 2 p.m.? Man, that is one long-ass day. 2 a.m. Okay. All right. I was going to say there, brother. Man, that's a long-ass day. All right, well. I don't know what to tell you there. So, okay, I'll let people comment. You know, right now with me restarting this or kind of getting my channel kicked back into gear, we're not getting the 100, 150 people on a live stream we used to. We're down to, 34, 35, and that's fine. Especially today since I'm off schedule anyway. But this week we'll have probably 500, 600 people watch this. So get in the comments, comment down below. Tell me what you think. Do you guys want to see regular live streams again or not? Let me know and I'll be interested. With that, I'm going to go on to my next subject I want to talk about. There's a YouTube channel called Homesteady. He's in Pennsylvania. He's a New England person. Right now he's living on some family's property in Pennsylvania. And he raises goats and some other critters. And one of his viewers had written into him something about he wastes too much time putting up the portable fencing, the electric portable fencing, which a lot of homesteaders are using now. Great tool, Premier One fencing. And he was this guy was saying he'd be better off keeping his goats in a little concrete floored feedlot and keeping them contained and instead of them going out and grazing his fields, making hay on those fields and then just feeding the goats hay all year long. And the homesteady guy, he's a lot nicer person than I am. And so he was trying to be polite to the guy and not, be too negative. But, there's certain truths to homesteading. You have animals, you got to feed them. You have animals, you have to give them water. Now, you can keep them in your barn, in which case, in order to feed them, you got to go out in your field, cut your hay, rake your hay, bale your hay, transport your hay, store your hay, and then feed them. And then for water, you've got to drill a well or get some source of water, and then you've got to go transport that water from wherever it is to your animals. And then when you're done with feeding and watering them, you have to pick up that once used hay, if you know what I'm talking about, the excrement. And you got to pick that up, clean that up, and then you take that back out in the fields and you spread it to fertilize your fields so it'll be productive and grow hay next year. And that's the typical farm model. I mean, that's what our society has gotten down to. That's just the way they do it, you know. They have pigs in these great big barns. They have chickens in these great big barns. They corral all the cows into these big feedlots. And then they spend a fortune mowing, raking, baling, transporting, storing, handling, labor, gas, fuel, diesel, tractors, equipment, rakes, mowers, tedders, balers. Meanwhile, Joel Salatin comes along and says, hey, they have this thing called electric fencing now. It's very lightweight, it's portable. Premier One makes his brand. It's kind of a mesh net, actually. It looks like a net. It's a little white openings about so big, you know. It's 42 inches tall, 165-foot roll, costs you about $1 a foot to buy. And so you can take that, and it's in little posts. You can stick it in the ground and set up a little temporary pen, or 2 or 3 of them, or 4 or 5 of them in length to get the right size you need. You can get for a couple $100 a little solar-powered fence charger that electrifies the fence and puts an alternating current out there with a shockwave. You can put the animals out in that pasture. Let them mow down that grass. 2, 3 days later, you move the pen over, you move the animals over. They're the ones cutting the hay by grazing, and then they eat and process it and they refertilize the field, all in one swift motion, without you having to do any of that work. It's such a novel, radical approach that so many people are like afraid of that, upset with that, angry with that, you know, because like a lot of these things that come up that are kind of brilliant. So anyhow, Joel Salatin has kind of started this whole new movement in the homesteading people where he's trying to convince people that this is a better system. And it is. And frankly, it more closely resembles the natural systems that we have in the world. Here in America, we used to have billions of buffalo. Now, millions anyway. Buffalo, I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of buffalo, but there's usually a bird sitting on top of them or whatever. The buffaloes stay together in a close pack herd because they've got predators attacking them. So they concentrate all their eating and defecating in one area. And when they've depleted that area, they move along to the next area and so on. They rotationally graze, if you will, without the need of fencing. They just do that naturally. So this fencing, this rotational grazing system is just part of that whole natural process, but a bit more organized and timed. And what a lot of farmers are doing is they're putting cattle in the field and moving those cattle out. 3 days later, they move their laying hens or their meat chickens into that same field. And why 3 days later? Well, because it takes 3 days for the flies to lay their eggs in the cow manure and for them to form larvae. And so the chickens go in, dig through the cow manure, thus spreading it over the field, nice and naturally, and they eat all the fly larvae, which knocks down, of course, on the flies. So you have a healthy ecosystem. The grass is getting mowed, it's getting refertilized, the fertilizer is getting spread around, and you're controlling your fly population all at the same time. In the meantime, your cows are getting fatter. Your chickens are walking out in the field. They're putting on weight and they're laying eggs. Just smart. Just smart. So you may want to check out Homesteady's videos. He does do a couple other good stuff that he's doing. But you might remind him that pastured rotational grazing, pastured, grass-fed beef and pastured poultry and pastured pigs is more than just a passing fad in the ag industry. It is, in fact, the right direction we should be going. So, sorry, trying to keep my throat moving. Let's go check the milk, shall we? We should have curd at this point. If not, we'll have to heat it back up a little bit more, but We may have to cut the curd. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're there. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me show you what we're dealing with here. Okay, you see how it's kind of pulled away from the edge of the pot? That's exactly what we've been looking for. So now what we need to do is we need to cut the curd. So let me get my curd cutting knife here. I don't see the one I'm looking for. Of course, it's never where I need it. This'll work. Whoop, dirty stove. Here we go. Long, skinny blade. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut the curd. There we go. Back and forth. Back and forth. Just breaking that curd up. Lily, stop. She does this whenever somebody enters the house. Well, we're busy right now. Colleen, I'm in the middle of a live stream. We're busy right now. Not a good time. For any of you guys that don't know, we don't care much for Colleen. All right, back over onto the heat. We're now going to warm that up a bit more. We're going to take this now up to 105 degrees, maybe even a little warmer than that. Where are we at? 91.9, 92. We're going to let this warm up a little bit. But we need to let this warm up still. We got to let it be calm and let it warm up a little bit. So anyhow, well, I don't know what that was about with Colleen. Apparently she wanted to come up here and talk about something, but
Just one of them,
Colleen is a tenant of Johanna's, and frankly, she's a pain in the butt. She's a big pain in the butt. Johanna has really bad allergies, and apparently I do too now. Colleen was instructed not to have flowers in and around her apartment, not to plant flowers. We don't plant flowers around Johanna. We have a lot of vegetables growing, but no flowers. Because if you plant flowers, they irritate Johanna, and apparently me too now. So anyhow, Colleen decided not to follow those rules, and she went ahead and planted flowers, and so it's a big problem right now. But you know, when it's your house, it's your house. You do things, you know, your house, your rules. So anyhow, let's see what I missed on the chat. I'm sure I'm late to the story, but what happened to the boat cruising? Well, the boat sold, and somebody down in Key West is on the Lily 2 at this point, and I am living up here in Ohio, getting back to what is, in two ways, getting back to my first love. Back here with Johanna, my first wife, and back to homesteading, the two things that I enjoy most in life. So, see, what are you going to use when they shut down the Google Hangout platform? I don't use Google Hangout. I don't use Google Hangout. Wisconsin Homestead, I don't think it will affect YouTube live streams. It might, but I don't know. You know, frankly, I'm not that versed in it, so we will see. We will see. So I peed on an electric fence when I was young. Never made that mistake. Yeah. Well, you know, we do learn. Hopefully, we learn from our mistakes. So. Yeah, we have water buffalo in Thailand. Yes, and you know the cool thing about water buffalo is you can milk them like a cow. In fact, some of the best mozzarella cheese you'll ever make comes from what's known as the buffalo mozzarella, and it's, you know, from buffalo, not American bison, which is really what we have in America. We don't have buffalo in America. We have bison, bison. We call them buffalo. Or buffs, but they're really bison. Water buffalo is a whole different animal. So, give her the boot. Yeah, well, it's a long story. We won't get into that just yet. So, anyhow, got some other ideas for some topics I want to talk about. I'm not political. I don't want to make this a political arena thing, but um, time to try up the beard, bro.
Trim.
Oh man, I like my beard. Yeah, probably. Anyhow, not being political, but what's the opposite of progress, people? That's right, Congress. Are these people friggin' stupid or what? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, here's the thing. I'm not political, and I don't want to get into Trump, whatever, Biden, whatever nonsense. I will say that I do like some of the things that Trump does. There's some of the things he does I don't care for. I'm not a hard, dyed in the wool, no matter what Trump fan. But the one thing I do like that he's doing is stirring up the hornet's nest. And so we'll see what happens. But with that said, Facebook, when we're on Facebook nowadays, or even YouTube, people, birds of a feather flock together. People stay amongst their groups. So, and of course, these algorithms are designed so they're only going to show you stuff that you may be interested in. So if I put up something that says I am pro-Trump, then I'm going to see a whole lot of pro-Trump stuff. And if I put up something saying that I'm pro-Joe Biden or Hillary or whatever, Democrat, I'm going to see a bunch of that kind of stuff. And so we really don't get a fair, honest appraisal of what's really going on in the country. We only see one side, and we're only getting feedback that we would want to get, not necessarily what the truth is. Truth, going back to truth in our what our homesteaders are all about. But I did notice that during the Mullins hearings, I don't know if any of you guys watched that. I watched the Mullins hearings, and I watched it on YouTube in a live stream. Just like live streams over there on the side over there, right over there, yep. Where you guys are commenting away, people were commenting. What's interesting is that live stream on YouTube was not my people. It wasn't people, I didn't know anybody that was commenting on there, at least maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Had a hard enough reading it, it was going by so fast. But I will say this much, I was really pleasantly surprised to see that and again, this is just me, you are more, you're more than welcome to have whatever politics you want. But for me, I was really pleased to see that it was mostly like-minded people to my way of thinking. I'll just put it that way without saying anything specific. So just beware of that when you're on Facebook and you're trying to get an assessment of what's really going on. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of these social media things have algorithms that are going to feed you what it is you want, not necessarily what's naturally going on. So hard to get an idea about that. Okay. Talked about doing live streams, moving that back up. Talking about interaction versus content views. Okay. My son's birthday, my grandson's birthday is coming up. And so I'm in a little bit of hot water with my wife, Johanna, giving me a hard time because she didn't like the present that I bought my grandson. Like so many young kids today, that they're into video games and arcades and sitting in front of their phones or their boob tubes and doing this stuff. As a grandfather, as a parent first, and then as a grandparent, kind of our responsibility to set the path, give a little nudge, even if it's not really what they want. Kind of our responsibility to maybe give them that nudge anyway, because maybe that's we feel we're imposing our will. We feel like we should direct them the direction we want them to go. So my grandson, for his 10th birthday, is getting a tool set. That's what I bought him, a tool set. So we'll see. Wisconsin Homestead, I see you detracted your message. I did see it ahead of time. No, we've not remarried. We are simply living in sin. But it won't be long before common law will consider us husband and wife anyway. But no, we did not remarry. So Dan says I inherited a book written in 1884 that included a section about lawn care. Apparently, livestock is good for soil. The book suggested South Down sheep, surly goats can be good as well. Well, it is. Yes and no, Dan, and they're absolutely right. Sheep are good at mowing, like a lawnmower. Cows are good at mowing. Goats not so much. Goats don't eat grass. Goats eat browse, like deer. They want to walk around the woods and eat leaves and the small young branches and that kind of stuff. That's the food that goats like. So when you see these commercial goat farms and they're hauling in all that hay, that's not really what goats want to eat. Goats don't want to eat hay. They want, they want the woody leaves, the sticks, the branches, the young shoots growing up, weeds, all the nasty stuff. They want to eat the nasty stuff, the brush and the brambles and the briars. But it's always a good idea if you want to mow your yard, put some cows out there or sheep. Sheep do less damage to the ground than cows do. Cows tend to make the ground kind of unlevel to walk on, hard to walk on. Sheep not so much, especially when it gets wet, it gets soft. So it's a good idea. Put some sheep out in the yard. Let them graze off your lawn. I mean, why spend gas and buy a lawnmower and walk around circles when the sheep will mow it for you? But put a goat or two out there with them so the goats will eat the weeds and the briars and the brambles. And just don't be upset when the goats go over and also eat your shrubs and your rose bush and your apple tree and everything else you wanted in the yard, because that's what they do. So. But anyhow, yeah, animals are good they are good. They grouse. Anybody, when you farm, let me back up. When you farm, gotta check the milk. Jeez, I'm gonna let it burn. I'm way behind on that. Okay, I'm just gonna shut that off because I am sure we got the temperature. No, we're good. We're perfect. Yep, it did not get too hot. I was afraid it was going to get too hot, and it did not. We're good. All right. Well, I got to get to the next step in this process here. So let me get organized. Let me sit you guys down here for a second, and we're going to get organized here so we can do this. So what we need is a hot pad. Put the hot pad down. There's a hot pad. We're going to get a couple gloves. We're going to move the hot pot of now curds and whey. Why is my towel in here? That's so weird. I need a ladle. All right. So what we're going to do is we have set up here colander with cheesecloth over a pot. And so what we're going to do is we're going to ladle, see if I can get you guys where you can watch. We're going to ladle the cheese out of here and put it in there. And we want to get all the cheese and not necessarily all the way. So we're going to kind of skim the top here a little bit to begin with. But you're going to notice that there's also some big cheese curds down below as well. So we'll do this in two parts. Oh yeah, big curds, big curds. You can hear it draining in the pot there, it all going in. You can see it kind of going in there. Trying to be gentle with it. I don't know why. I could just dump it in there, but in my experience, when I dump it in there, I make a big mess. Oh yeah, a lot more. We're getting a lot more than we got the other day, Johanna. Yeah, we're gonna have a much better yield. I just gotta rake this around here so that let the water get down through it. We're gonna let that drain for a while now. Gonna let that drain, and what we're doing is we're just separating out the curds from the whey. Just separating out the curds from the whey. Rake that around a little bit. Keep pulling that up. That has a tendency to want to get pulled down in there. There we go. Perfect. Doing good. And this is what forms the mozzarella, guys. This is the curds here is what forms the mozzarella. The mozzarella, as Johanna would say. How do you call it, Johanna?
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. I don't know if you guys can hear her back there, but she's pretty quiet. As most wives should be. We get in trouble for that.
What did you just say?
Nothing.
I didn't smack you upside the head?
No, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say a word.
I can go back and listen to it,
So you're gonna rewind my live stream, come back and.
If you get awoken by a smack upside your head tonight.
She's gonna beat on me, guys. She's gonna beat on me. All right. We're gonna go ahead and pour the rest of this in now. See if we can do this without making too big of a mess. Oh yeah. All righty then. So I'm gonna pull the points together. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're losing some over the side.
Yeah.
We're gonna let that drain. Yep, okay, we're doing good.
It's a lot more than it was yesterday.
Yep, better yield. Better yield.
We gotta get some bigger cheese balls.
Yes, we need bigger cheesecloth. Okay, I'm just gonna let this sit here and drain and let that go for a while. I'm gonna put the lid on it. Keep the flies out of it. Got her fly. There you go, kids. We're separating our curds from our whey. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna let that drain for I don't know, let's say 5 minutes. Why don't you guys remind me when 5 minutes is up? Since I usually time with my phone and you guys are on my phone right now. Remind me when 5 minutes are up and we'll go up and see how well that's drained out. So, oh, Heaven's Gate Cherry Farm. Hello, what's up, Heaven's Gate? How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Jared, what's going on, man? Fresh cheese and tomatoes for the pizza. Do you have any onions in the garden? Unfortunately, no. We did not do onions this year. We will. We will shortly. Well, not this year. Next year we'll plant onions. So, Jojo, how many cigarettes can you roll an hour?
As many as I need.
There you go. As many as she needs. Good answer. Actually, she's really cutting back. She really is, guys. She was smoking quite a bit. She's now rolling her own, but she's got this little, like, cool cigarette
And this helps.
thing. And she's vaping now, which
With that.
I wish she wouldn't vape, but she vapes, so. Hey Rejects, how you doing, man? Good to see you there. So anyhow, so we're having fun. We're making cheese mozzarella. Tomorrow we're gonna make homemade pizza with our own mozzarella. Now, give me an example. What I'm working on right now, a little bit of goals. Talk about some goals. Our plan is to try to buy some land so we can have room to do more. Once we have land to do more, yes, we'll have a big enough garden. Yes, we'll be planting onions and a whole lot more other vegetables as well.
Whole lot of garlic.
Whole lot of garlic, whole bunch more of these beauties I just pulled out of my garden today. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, I'm gonna slice that up here shortly. Don't you wave your finger at me, you peanut boiler, you. Janet has been boiling peanuts for like the last week, it seems like.
For 2 days.
Oh my gosh, the house has just been hot enough as it is, and she's boiling peanuts. Anyhow, so the idea is to get a piece of land, and then we can have more critters. So then when I go make pizza, I'm going to raise the wheat to make the dough with. Seriously, we'll make our own cheese. We'll make our own pasta sauce from our own tomatoes and beef from our own, and pork from our own animals. And I'll make my own pepperoni because I can. And so that's the plan. That's the plan. That's the way I like to live. You know, I like to have enough land that I can raise my own food for my own critters. And you know, that way when Washington goes nuts and Wall Street fails and the Chicago Mercantile Exchange falls flat on its face and anarchy reigns throughout the land, I'll be able to sit back on my little farm and eat pizza. That's the plan, guys, including homebrew and wine. We'll make some wine. And no, I don't mean wine like all those trolls we used to have on the channel, how they would whine. I mean glug, glug, glug wine. So, land with home or just undeveloped land for agriculture. Good question, rejects, and there's not a good answer to that. I have yet to see a piece of land with a house on it that I would like. Kind of persnickety in my old age. I know exactly what I want, and so I'm probably just gonna build it myself. And once again, when I say build it myself, I'm gonna like buy a sawmill, cut down my trees, and make my lumber. So, what?
He's been picky.
I've always been picky. Yes, I have been. Yes, I have been. The chainsaw video was very informative. Well, I'm glad you liked that. Yeah. You know, that chainsaw, okay, it was fun to do that. I actually have a video I'm working on right now on sawhorse brackets, of all things. Weird. I bought sawhorse brackets and I got inspired. So I'm working on a video for that. But anyhow, nice chainsaw. Great chainsaw for someone to play with in a little yard like this. Not the chainsaw that I would want to rely on to bring in my year's supply of firewood. Living up in Alaska, it's not the chainsaw I would want to pack into the backcountry that my very life would be depending on for making firewood and heating my house. It ain't that kind of chainsaw. It's a cheap little $40 change or $50 chainsaw that is fine for you going out and cutting a branch off your apple tree or taking out an overgrown shrub or something like that, you know. We cleaned up along the front, along the main road. We cleaned up some of the overgrown branches and stuff with that. We took down an old dead tree, not more than 12 inches in diameter, and even then it was having trouble with that big of a log. But you know, $50, you get what you pay for. So get what you pay for. Anyhow, did a nice little video of it. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Hey Pilot, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Frank loves making pepperoni. Okay. I have a double wide, 2 outbuildings and 5 acres. Nice.
Yeah.
2 outbuildings and 5 acres. Nice. That would be a great start. I'm looking for something larger than that, but that would be a great start. So, yeah, probably need a Steel 062 or maybe even a Husky 365. You know, I used to have my Steel was the 029 Farm Boss. It was everything I needed. It was
15 seconds.
15 seconds, right? Good deal. But you know, my 029 Farm Boss was just the Steel was a fine chainsaw. I would go to the end of the earth with that saw. I would trust it.
Say
It would
thank you,
hold up.
Dan.
Thank you, Dan. You've been living off the good graces of others for a year. How can you afford all these plans? You know, Short Bus, that's an ignorant comment. You know what? I've been producing content that you've been watching, so why haven't you contributed? Okay? You're asking the wrong question. You're fake news, dude. You're fake news. Like Trump would say, that's fake news. Seriously, you're asking the wrong question. That's an ignorant statement. I've not been living off the good graces of others. I've been producing content. People have been consuming that content and they want to help me out, so I continue. That's how YouTube works, man. That's how it works. All these video channels, everyone's got, a Patreon page. Everyone's collecting ad revenue. It's how it works. We're creating content so you'll watch it, so we'll make money. Some people donate directly. You hit super chat, live stream people at super chat. If you think that's living off the good graces of others, it just goes to show me your ignorance. By the way, my low battery light just came on, so I plugged you in. No, and hunting rates on 80 acres. There you go. I would like that on 80 acres if I could also cut timber on that 80 acres. Just got back from the lakefront watching the Thunderbirds air show. Cool, cool. All right. I'm gonna unplug here real quick. Let's go check the cheese. We're just checking for drainage at this point. We just want to see how it's draining off the way. And it appears to, what is that? Huh. Something dark in there. I don't know what that was. It was not a fly. I'm not sure. Maybe there was something in the pot. I don't know. All right. So now, as you can see, we've gotten most of the way is out of there. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Oh. And now comes the hard part for me. No, this has got to drain some more. This isn't quite there yet. It's got too much moisture in it. Because what I need to start doing, it's too hot. Yep, too hot. We're gonna let that drain a little bit longer. Yeah, it's a little too hot for me to mess with yet. Because I got to pick it up in my hands. Start forming it into a ball, and start stretching it. But that's too hot. I can handle something pretty hot in my hands, but let's see what kind of temperature we got there. Well, it doesn't seem that hot. Yeah, we're 130. I don't know how it got warmed up so much inside that. You would think it would have gotten cooler. Tell you what, let me try squishing off a bit more. I'm gonna raise it up and see if we can't let it drain some more. Accelerate the drain. Let it all get out of there. Try to squeeze out the, that's hot. Okay. We're just going to let that sit just like that and cool. So we're going to give that another, I don't know. Give it another 5 minutes. We'll see how much it cools off. That's just a little too hot. What do I got to drink to help my throat? I should make myself some tea. Been drinking a lot of chamomile tea. With, let me show you this. Look at this. Look at this. From the garden, huh? From the garden. Squishes. Squishes. I got squishes from the garden. Got lots. We're getting lots of squish from the garden. A lot of squish. So, by the way, Johanna, while I was out there earlier, I hope you don't mind, but I enjoyed another strawberry.
I know, I saw.
Oh, you were in here watching me. Oh, okay. She's probably in here watching going, that bastard's eating my strawberry.
They're Elspeth's strawberry.
Yeah, my granddaughter's strawberry. Oh, that's right. She's going to be here tomorrow. I should have left that for her.
That'll probably be another one tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have a lot of flowering right now. I think I need to hit it with some fertilizer. Give it a little kick. So where are we at now? Got back from lakefront watching Thunderbird. That's cool. I do contribute by watching and hitting the thumbs up. There you go. That helps, man. That helps, brother. This is cheese you're making. Yes, making ricotta.
Mozzarella.
I even have the wrong name. I'm sorry. Yes, she's right. Mozzarella. We're making mozzarella. We're making mozzarella. So, hey, Backyard Gardening, how you doing? Backyard Gardening, you just got here, man. Check this dude out. I just picked this earlier during this live stream. How's that for a beauty, huh? 20.1 ounces. One tomato. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. I'm jazzed. The garden's doing really well. Hydroponic lettuce ain't doing worth a damn. Everything else is growing like crazy. Go figure. So, anyhow, how you doing? I am doing great, man. How you doing? Dan Carter says, I love the baked acorn squash. Oh, yeah. Baked acorn squash with butter. One of my favorites. I did not plant any summer squash. We didn't put any summer squash in. So,
Winter squash.
I'm sorry. Yes, the winter squash. I didn't plant any winter squash. Hey, SMD Gaming. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Hitting up the super chat. You rock, dude. Thank you very much. Maybe some other people will get the hint and do the same. That would be awesome. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, we didn't plant any, winter squash. Guys, I've been Dame Bramish. I've been Dame Bramaged all day. See, I can't even talk. I've been brain dead all day today. I mean, really, I've been walking around in a fog. I think I'm having a silver hair moment or something. I don't know. I've been weird today. I've been weird today. So, hi there, hey, Canoe Hound Adventures. Wow, Canoe Hound. That's cool. Canoe Hound. Where do you Canoe Hound? So, do you have a root cellar, or how do you keep your veggies? Yeah, see, that's the problem. Two things. We have a very small yard. Oh, the ice maker. We have a very small yard, and we have a very small garden. Janet didn't have a garden here before. I actually took a shovel and started digging up her backyard. She was like, "What are you doing?" I dug up some of the backyard and I planted. With her kicking and screaming all the way, I got a little garden in, so we have a little garden. And when I talk about a little garden, I mean small, like 5 by 8. And I have one area that's 5 by 8. I have another area that's like 12 by 5 or something, and that's it. And then a bunch of potted stuff that I carry around. So very tiny garden, very limited. But I do have tomatoes, potatoes, cucumbers, peas, beans, corn, strawberries, and lots of tomatoes, and tomatoes, and tomatoes. And squash, lots of squash coming up, acorn, zucchini, yellow squash, and the patty pan. See, peas and beans, what am I for? Carrots. I'm forgetting something.
Radishes.
Radishes, because we already ate those. That's already been done. Strawberries.
And herbs.
Herbs, yeah, we've got herb garden going too. So, having fun with it. Cool tomato. Yeah, very cool tomato. So rejects, to answer your question, we don't plan on storing any of it. We're going to eat it fresh and give away the abundance.
Can some.
And can some. We're going to can a lot. So, you got the hydroponic system going also. I did not get the hydroponic system going. No, I have not gotten that going yet. So, boom, good job. Thank you. Northern Ontario mostly. Hey, there's some good canoeing up in that country. Yeah, you betcha. What was that about, dog? For some reason, she just jumps to her feet. Well, I think the other dog, there's two of them here now, Lily and
She's sleeping on the couch.
Is she on the couch?
Yeah.
Yeah, Taffy.
She's in here, she's on the couch.
I don't know, Lily just jumped for no reason. All right. Anyhow, you're doing a great job on it. Yes, yeah, having a lot of fun on my very limited space. Believe me, I would love to put in, 50 by 100 if it was up to me. I usually plant a 50, 60 by 100 side garden, but not here. So, no water droplets on the tomato. I thought that was a federal law. It's always that way on the commercials. Yeah, right? Yes, water droplets just oozing down the side of the tomato now. Yeah, corn. I got some sweet corn in. So, more comments today. More comments today. What does that mean? Uh-oh. I just was reminded to plug you back in. My phone's going to die here pretty soon, guys. So, have a great weekend. Just wanted to say hello and hit that button. All right, thank you, brother. All rejects. How are the Ducks doing? Ducks are doing awesome, man. They're doing awesome. I was kind of hoping to get my battery charged up while during the live stream, but I keep forgetting to plug it in. You're plugged in right now, so it's going to hold, and I'll keep you plugged in. Even if I have to move back over there while I'm working on the cheese, I'll bring the charger with us. Keep you guys plugged in, so at least we have 10% left. So hopefully I can get outside and show you the ducks before the live stream ends. But they're doing great. They really are. They're doing great. So Walker's Apollo says a lot. Oh, a lot more comments today. I get it. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. For only 33 people watching. Yeah, very good. And for those of you guys that are new to my channel, this is typical with my live streams. I've always had, well, not always. I've worked hard and diligently over many years, to be frank with you, and built up a nice community of people. So we have a good group of core people that like to come and hang out during the live streams and chat, and we've gotten to know each other, and and it's really cool. It's a nice environment. In fact, for those of you guys that just got here and weren't here earlier, I was asking people to get into the comments either now or afterwards in the comments down below and talk about it. I'm contemplating going back to a more regular live stream, like maybe go back to doing a live stream every night. So I'm interested to see you guys' thoughts on that. Do you still want to do that? You want to go back to that or not? If so, I do believe I'm game. So let's see what happens. SMD Gaming, thank you again. Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Very good of you, sir. Very good of you. So when you harvest the boy ducks, can you do a video on the catch, clean, and cook? I will, of course, yes. But I think I have 10 hens. I really do. I mean, it was I got 10 because I figured I was going to be butchering half of them and having meat, having duck dinners and keeping, 5 or 6 for layers. But they're all female, it looks like. I'm not seeing, they're not getting the green heads. They're not getting the rings around their neck. They're not getting the curled feathers on their tail. They're not getting the male plumage, which is much more brighter and more colorful. They're not getting any of that. So I may have 10 females. So it's going to be a hard decision over who gets the knife because I really don't need 10 ducks. They're overgrazing their environment is what they're doing. They're poor habitat management right now on my part. I have an overdone population that we have to curtail some, so we'll figure it out. It'll be my luck. I'll end up butchering my top layers, but that's just the way things go sometimes. So Jared says yes. Say SMD fan on. Yep, I have a fan because it's hot. Love the live stream. It would be nice to see some Italian recipe preparations with Johanna. Yes, it would. Tell her that. Make sure you let her know.
What?
Did you see the comment from Rejects?
Yeah, if I can stand up near the stove.
It would be nice to see some Italian recipe preparations with Johanna.
We're going to do it sitting down.
Yep. Yep. Johanna has some mobility issues right now, so. Is it you that sells the soap and makes it, or your son? Me, I make and sell soap. Yep, I make and sell soap. I'm not making soap during this live stream. This live stream, I'm making mozzarella cheese because it's pizza night tomorrow. So we're making that's right, I got a bad voice. So we're making our own cheese. But yes, I do. I make oat milk soaps. There's in the description down below. There's links for that. I make a line of goat milk soaps that are just really good for you. Just really, really good. Hey, let me do a soap commercial here. Real quick. I actually don't have any soaps here with me, so otherwise I'd show you some. And I've had a few people that have bought them, and some of those people are actually here tonight. I don't know if they've used them yet. I think they just got them. I don't know if any of them used them. I was kind of hoping they'd get on here and say, hey, man, I used it, and it was great, yada, yada, yada. I haven't seen that yet, so we'll see. Yeah, we make a goat milk soap. Olive oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, and palm oil. Those 4 oils. 1 ounce of goat milk in every bar, and that's saponified with a food grade lye. That's all she wrote. That's all that's in it.
It's fantastic.
That's those bars are what we're calling the Buck Naked because there's no scent and there's no colorant in them. Now, we do have some scents coming on very soon. Sweet Pea and Ivy, Christmas Splendor, by the way. Nature's Oil, organic scents. Warm vanilla sugar, and because my daughter-in-law specifically requested it, Mango Madness.
That smells so good.
And we've got a cucumber and melon one coming, but hasn't gotten here yet. And we'll be adding some green, safe green colorant to that shouldn't bother anybody, shouldn't affect anybody. It's a dry powder that we add that makes it look green. So anyhow, But we have a lot of those coming out, and I can tell you right now, our biggest seller, the thing people are buying the most, is the Soap of the Month Club. For $50, you get a bar of soap a month for the next 13 months. Actually, Baker's dozen, and we're including with that some extra gift soaps and stuff as well. So you get my voice. So you get a nice little package for $50. It's a pretty nice deal. You can order as little as 1 bar or 3 bars or 5 bars, or the Baker's dozen, the Soap of the Month, so whichever you prefer doing. In the description down below, there's pricing and all that shown down there. So anyhow, does Johanna have a homemade pizza dough recipe? One of my friends. Oh yeah, she definitely makes her homemade pizza dough. And yes, it's good. You should wash your hands coughing then cooking. Yes, Sue, I agree. I agree. Cooking with Johanna, scent flavors. Got my soap, haven't tried it yet. Oh, Morgan. Hey, Morgan, how you doing, brother? Well, try it, man. Try it and let us know. Let us know if you like it or not. I appreciate that. So far, everyone has absolutely loved it. My daughter-in-law has been using it. My granddaughter's been using it. They love it. Jan and I have been using it. I love it. It's a really nice, rich lather. Lathers up nice. Feels great on the skin. You feel great afterwards. You don't feel like gritty or sticky or anything like some of these soaps leave you. I mean, there's nothing in there to irritate you. It's just all really good as what they call essential oils. All essential oils. So cool stuff, good stuff. And I'm really glad, kind of proud of myself that I am now selling a really good quality product. Something that I can be happy to stand behind. So, and it is. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for a really good product. It's a good product. So check it out. That is how I'm paying the bills right now, is making and selling goat milk soaps. So check it out. In fact, we're looking forward to getting our own goat here pretty soon. Because right now I'm buying it from an organic goat farm. Actually, not really a goat farm. It's a lady that has 3 goats. She raises them organically. I get milk from one of them. So we'll have to see. Are you only making? Yes, I'm only making goat milk soap. I don't make any other soap but goat milk soap. So thank you for that, Sue. Has your granddaughter noticed any improvement in her skin? Yes, absolutely, Rejects. Yeah, she gets a little bit of eczema, but when she uses my soap, she just doesn't get it, period. It just doesn't happen. So, yes, very definitely. In fact, my daughter-in-law, when I was up in Alaska, when I came back from Alaska, I had a few bars left over, and I had given her one to give my granddaughter to try. This was like a year ago. And they used it, and of course, it wore out, and she was like, I need more. I'm like, well, I don't have any more. That's all we had. And so she was kind of lamenting about that, and doesn't really trust some of these other people to manufacture stuff without, who knows what they put in it, In my case, you guys actually watched me make the soap. I did a live stream. You go back and watch the live stream. I actually make the soap right in front of you. You saw everything that went into the bars. So can't be much more upfront and honest than that, Again, as we talked about at the beginning of the live stream, truth. That's what us. That's what us homesteaders bring, is truth. So, since you no longer have the boat, will you not be doing diving videos ever? Sadly, probably not in the near future, no. And I love the scuba dive, but it's not going to be in the near future. We did a homemade pizza one night and cooked it on a perforated pizza pan. It was riveted to the pan when it was, oh no.
Those
Yeah.
pizza pans are only for the frozen pizzas.
Yeah, that's only for the frozen pizzas. Yeah, you need a pizza stone to do them that way. So, or it's a cookie sheet. You can just use a cookie sheet. That works too. So, I like those soap pouches that Johanna made. Is she still making them? And she is still making them. They will be for sale. We don't have them figured out price wise. We're trying to figure out how long it takes her to make one and what the material cost is before we can set that. So. Hello, Mr. Tanglewood. Greetings from the land of Oz. Well, thank you. All right, this is getting really long, so I'm going to go check the. We're going to go check the milk, but I'm taking you with me this time, so that I can plug y'all in. So I can plug you in. Let me plug you in. There you go. You got power. Now you can see. All right, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see from there, but we'll see how this goes. All right, how are we doing now? Oh yeah, see now the more of the whey is still separating out, and it's hot, but it's not that bad. So let me show you what we do now. We simply go in here. Let me kind of show you, hold this up. See all these big chunkies? We want to kind of rake all the big chunkies in there and get them back in there. Guys, I gotta use both hands to do this. So I hold up the cloth and I just sort of take my fingernails and rake everything back in. And yes, I know I probably should have washed my hands before doing this, but you're not eating my cheese and I'm not selling it. So don't worry about it. This cheese is so darn hot right now, I'm sure it's going to kill anything that's on it anyway. So anyhow, ooh, that is warmish, guys. That is warmish. Ooh. What's that?
Don't forget the salt.
Don't forget the salt. Janice says don't forget the salt. She's absolutely correct. I forgot the salt. Gotta salt the cheese.
Once you get it drained down.
All right. Janice says I didn't put enough salt on it last time. What?
You have to get it squeezed out first.
I did squeeze it out. I'm forming a ball in here is what I'm doing right now. So I can pick it up.
That wasn't a tablespoon.
What's that?
That wasn't a tablespoon.
No, it was actually a little less, wasn't it? All right. Hot. Burning my hands. All right, can we pick it up yet? Oh. So we pick it up and we start forming it. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to pick it up and form it. We got more in here. I actually have more in here than I can do with one time. So we're just trying to form it, and we're going to start stretching it and turning it. It's still too hot. And we're just kind of squishing it and trying to get all of the moisture out of it. And my cloth is falling in there. Get the cheesecloth back up. All right. I'm going to try doing this in some smaller man-sized batches here.
That's too much water in it.
Yeah, it's still got to drain more, I think.
Oh, come on.
I think you're right. I think it's still got to drain more, and it would help me if it cooled a little bit more. Because it's really hot. It's rolling up nicely into a ball. It's just not coming up in the hand. So it's getting there. It's just not quite there yet. We're going to give that just a little bit longer. So what we do at this point, guys, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to continue the live stream. We just get this, it's starting to stick together. It's got a little bit more drying to do. And then we'll be able to form it up into a ball. It'll all sort of congeal and roll up into a ball. I got it all over my hands. All right, let me go wash my hands off. It's like I've been breading dough or something. That needs to set up a little bit longer. I wouldn't want to get that any hotter, that's for sure. Definitely would not want to get that any hotter. It's just about burning my hand to touch it. We'll just cover that up and let that go a little bit longer. All right. Almost there. What we've got to do now is we've just got to wait for it to get where it cools off a little bit. And it finishes draining. It's a matter of just getting the whey out of it. It probably would be a good idea for me to go ahead and heat it up a second time. And I get it plugged in correctly. Probably be a good idea for me to go ahead and heat it up a second time and then try to work it, but ow. That's hard on the hands. That's hard on the hands. So thanks, Pilot. Appreciate that. Yeah, I kind of anticipated that was going to be a problem. I assume she got all out, bent out of shape over me using my hands. Yeah. You're feeding. I'm not feeding company. I'm feeding family. My hands are clean anyway. And I may be coughing, but I ain't coughing anything up. I'm just coughing. I'm coughing to get my vocal cords. I don't have to explain to you guys. I ain't worried about it. Does it get hard? Yes. Yes, exactly, Rejects. As it cools down, it congeals more, and actually what it does, it congeals more, and it's kind of like a dough at that point. You fold it into itself, and you're stretching it and folding it, stretching it and folding it. It becomes elastic, like mozzarella becomes elastic. But right now, it's basically salted ricotta. What it is right now is salted ricotta. If I, as I continue to let it dry and work it a little bit, it turns into mozzarella. So, just the way it is. Personal attacks not be tolerated. That's absolutely correct. Yep, yep, yep. We don't worry about that. So, anyhow, so what else do we have on the agenda? Let me just see what else I want to talk about. Yeah, you guys were mentioning about my garden earlier and about how much stuff I got planted and what have you. You know, the problem is I'm dealing with a very small amount of area, so I don't have a big garden. Usually I plant, I plant to the point of abundance. That's been my litmus test. Plant to the point of abundance. If I need 5 squash plants to raise the squash for us to eat, then I'll plant 10 or 20 so I can have squash to give away. If I need 250-foot rows of sweet corn to provide our family with sweet corn, I'll plant 20 of them so I can get. I mean, the seed is so cheap. The seed cost is so inexpensive. It really doesn't seem like it matters. So it. If you're going to plow and rototill or whatever and generate your garden, then do that and make the room. And if you have the room, which I don't have now, the seed is so cheap. So if you're going to plant 1 row, while you're at it, just plant 5. You know, if you're gonna make 5 mounds of squash, make 20. And it really isn't that much more work. I mean, having a 1,000 square foot garden or having a 30,000 square foot garden isn't that much more work, and you can have abundance, which I like. I like having abundance, not necessarily for the point of selling it, but just be able to provide for everybody and give away. You know, have some stuff to give away. So, anyhow, that's kind of everything I had that I wanted to talk about today. So, what do we got going on in the chat? Sue Smith's gotten in trouble. She's upset that I didn't wash my hands a second time. Don't worry about Sue. That cheese is so hot. I can guarantee you nothing is going to grow in that right now. Nothing. I mean, it's hotter than hot water. And you use hot water to wash your hands to get your hands clear. So chill out. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Southern Sharpshooter, please, let's not attack anybody, okay? Allowed you to grow weed in your state? No, cannot grow weed in Ohio. Unfortunately. Now, we could when I lived up in Alaska, but not here in Ohio, so... If you get land, will you do all of the planting and harvesting by hand or get a tractor? Yes. Yes, I will be harvesting a lot by hand and I will be getting a tractor. Because there's a lot, excuse me, there's a lot of things that I plan on doing that are going to require a tractor. You know, when you're planting grain and big areas and stuff, you're going to need a tractor for what I'm going to be doing. So there you go. My grandson loves digging in the garden. Cool. Yep.
So does Elspeth.
Time out. No, Sue, just for being... Never mind. If you don't, whatever. Yes, you did not lie. That's true. You spoke the truth. And I probably should have gone over to the sink and wasted some time putting some more hot water on my hands, but that cheese is hot. That cheese is hotter than my hot water coming out of the tap. So, go figure. Anyhow, kids, my voice is going to crap. I'm not sure how much time my phone has left. I did want to go outside and see the goats, or see the duckies. The goats, yeah, the duckies. So I'm going to unplug you, and we're going to go outside, and we're going to look at the ducks. just realize that in the midst of that, my phone may just die and that may be the end of it. So if that's how the live stream ends, that's how the live stream ends. So can you grow hops and barley in Ohio? Yes, yes, we absolutely will be growing hops and barley. And yes, we will be home brewing. So plus we'll be growing wine, grapes for wine, fruit trees, you know. Gonna grow some grapes for some raisins and some apples, like make some apple jack, that kind of stuff. So anyhow, let's go. Let us go see the Quacken. They got to be outside here someplace. If not, I'll run the hose and they'll come running, which is what they usually do whenever the water's flowing out here. And like I said, if the oh, there they are. They're right in the front yard. Look at this. They're going to be easy to see. Let me turn. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see what's going on in the chat here. Hold on. Legalized weed everywhere. Yeah. Farm needs to charge everything. Buy some hands. Yeah. Okay. Cool, rejects. Anyhow, there's the Quackens. Right there. That's what they do. They nest right out here in the yard. They just hang out here. See how close we can get. Hey, duckies. Hey, duckies. How you guys doing, huh? I'm not going to bother you any. Just trying to give people a close-up view of you. There you go. So there's two light-colored ones. You can see this guy here and that one there. The people we bought them from had them from a previous hatch. And then all the rest of them are all the other ones that are all the same color. They're all from a different hatch of eggs. They're a breed known as a Rowan, and they look just like mallards, except the males get very, very pretty with lots of bright colors on them. As you can see, that guy right there, he's got a little color showing in his wing, whereas some of these others don't. So he might be a male. That one there might be a male. That one there might be a male. I don't know yet. It's too early to tell yet. But the males will all be dinner. So, just so you guys know that, guys. If you're a male, you're going to get 8. But there's the duckies. Let's see, where do the ducks sleep at night? Usually underneath the porch. They usually go up underneath the porch. Have you been to the annual homestead conferences yet? No, Jared, I've not made any of those. So they're growing up pretty quickly. Yes, they are, Dan. Yes, they are. They're almost adult size now. Mighty fine ducks. Thank you. How much does a duck cost? Actually, rejects, I got these for free. The lady was giving them away. So I got all 10 of them for nothing. Well, anyhow, there's the duck. There's the Quacken. There's the duck brigade. Camper van Elvis was attacked by a woodstock at a park, huh? Well, that's Elvis. What can I tell you? Anyhow, for those of you guys came late, this is my new project I just built. I made these sawhorses so I could get my Tumbling Tom tomatoes up high so they have room to grow. You can see the kind of tomatoes I got coming on. All kinds of them coming in. So it's going to be interesting to see how these do. You know, there's just bunches of them coming on. So, and then I got these coming in over here, right down there next to, see those big ones right there? That's where that big red one came from. It was right next to those. That's got some more coming in. I got more tomatoes coming in there and back in there and up in there. Up on top here. Got a bunch of strawberries coming in. And this is my menagerie. This has really gotten overgrown. My squash plants have gone crazy. There's a row of potato plants that you can't hardly even see. You can see some potato tops in there. Cucumbers climbing that up. And then I've got watermelon trying to sneak out the side here and grow watermelon. He's all the way out here, all the way out to there now. So, but unfortunately the ducks are biting off his buds. So And the squash, you know, I got a bunch of them coming on. I'll be harvesting here soon, more of them. This is a squash plant in here, my corn cage, and I've got some peas and stuff coming up in there. But that's my little corn cage, try to keep everything out of the corn so I get some sweet corn coming up. I got more squash, more potatoes, carrots coming up, more tomatoes, so I'm gonna have to build another, you see them there, I'm gonna have to build another raised sawhorse thing so I can get these guys put up. Then we've got some mint and some basil and some herbs and stuff. But that's kind of that's the whole Ponderosa for now. That's all the space I've got to work with. So did not have a lot of space, could not put up much of a garden, but we did manage to get something up and we are getting some yield out of it. So that's all that matters. Well, my voice is beginning to hurt and I got to get to
Care not for lives unseen. Look away from reality. Hide behind a mask. Look confused when you're asked what you've done to help humanity. It's not you, it's not me, it's all together. Try to change all the harm we've done to ourselves, to the earth, to the voice not yet heard, to the world left behind our own.
sunshine. Now we are halfway there, we're keeping focus on that. Maybe together we're gonna scare the fear itself. Maybe the thunder won't even let us reach tomorrow. Feel adventurous, embrace the pain. When I'm with you, that's how I do. We are gonna run the night away. Now we are one, and like you,
story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed. Only the names have been changed. Here, only the names have been changed. The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed. Only the names have been changed. Here, only the names have been changed. The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed. Only the names have been changed. Here, only the names have been changed. The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed.
Hoho! Scheiße, wo ist mein Theater? Will er was? Hoho! Scheiße, wo ist mein Theater? Und ich fang mit weinen, denn ich bin der Boss. Fang ich an zu weinen, denn ich bin der Boss. Und ich wackel mit dem Beinen, denn ich bin der Boss. Fang ich an zu weinen, denn ich bin der Boss. Gib mir mehr, gib mir mehr.
Thank